r/relationship_advice. They left me out of family photos, so I ruined theirs. r/relationship_advice. They left me out of family photos, so I ruined theirs. I'm staring at my phone screen at 2:47 a.m., and I can't stop scrolling through the comments on Janet's Facebook post. Such a beautiful family. Congratulations to Emma on graduating. You all look so happy together. Each comment feels like a knife twisting deeper. Because I was there. I was standing right fucking there when these photos were taken, and somehow I've been completely erased from existence. Let me back up. My dad married Janet when I was 14. Emma, her daughter, was only 10. For 8 years, I've called this woman my stepmom. I've spent every Christmas morning in their living room, every Thanksgiving at their dinner table. When people ask about siblings, I say I have a younger sister. I genuinely thought we were family. Emma graduated from high school last weekend. I drove 4 hours from college to be there because missing it was never even a question. I sat in those uncomfortable auditorium seats for 3 hours listening to 200+ names being called, cheering when they announced Emma Michelle Rodriguez, like she was my own blood. After the ceremony, Janet insisted we needed professional photos. She'd actually hired a photographer. This whole thing was planned. I remember thinking it was sweet, how much effort she put into making Emma's day special. The photographer had us pose by the school's fountain, then under some trees, then on the front steps of the building. I was in every single shot. Or so I thought. The photos went up on Facebook yesterday with the caption, "So proud of our beautiful graduate. Our little family has been through so much, but look at us now. #blessed, #proudmom, #family first. Our little family, 3 people. Dad, Janet, and Emma, all beaming at the camera in perfectly coordinated outfits. Photo after photo of the complete family, all taken from angles that somehow cropped out the awkward 22-year-old stepdaughter who'd rearranged her entire final schedule to be there. I called Dad immediately. He answered on the 4th ring, and I could hear the TV in the background. "Hey kiddo, what's up? Did you see Janet's Facebook post?" Silence. Then, "Oh. Yeah, she picked the best ones to share." The best ones. Right. The ones where his eldest child doesn't exist. "Dad, I'm not in a single photo." "Look, sweetheart, you know how social media works. People just post their favorites." "Their favorites of what?" "Their real family." More silence. I could hear him breathing, probably trying to figure out how to smooth this over like he always does. Always keeping the peace, never rocking Janet's boat. "It's not like that," he finally said, but his voice lacked conviction. "Then ask her to post one with me in it." I'll talk to her." That was 3 days ago. The post is still up. No new photos have been added. The message couldn't be clearer if she'd written it in skywriting, "I am not part of this family." I never was. But here's the thing about trying to erase someone who's been watching your perfect family from the inside for 8 years, I know where all the bodies are buried. And Janet's about to learn that some people, when you corner them, don't just disappear quietly. I've got my camera. I've got my skills. And I've got absolutely nothing left to lose. I spend the next 2 days in what my roommate calls scary research mode, the same energy I put into cramming for finals, except this time I'm not studying for a grade I'll forget about in 6 months. I'm studying for permanent consequences. See, Janet thinks she's got this whole perfect family image locked down, but she's forgotten that I've been living in their house during summer breaks and holidays for 8 years. I've been the invisible observer, the one who cleans up after family gatherings, the one who gets sent to fetch things from other rooms during adult conversations. The one who accidentally overhears phone calls. I start making a list. Not on my phone, I'm not that stupid. Old school pen and paper, the kind that doesn't leave digital footprints. Item 1, Janet's affair with her personal trainer last summer. I thought Dad was being paranoid when he mentioned she was spending a lot of time at the gym, but then I came home early from my campus job one day and heard her giggling on the phone in a voice she's never used with my father. No, he won't be back until 6. Emma's at soccer practice. Item 2, the family emergency, money she borrowed from Dad's business account to pay for Emma's car. Except there was no emergency, just Emma crying about how all her friends had cars and she was the only senior taking the bus. I saw the dealership papers on the kitchen counter before Janet shoved them in a drawer when I walked in. Item 3, Emma's perfect GPA that got her into state. The one that required Janet to literally write half her senior English essays. I watched it happen during Christmas break. Janet hunched over Emma's laptop at 1 a.m., typing furiously while Emma played on her phone. Item 4, the real reason they moved houses 2 years ago. It wasn't for better schools like they told everyone. It was because Janet got into some kind of dispute with their neighbors over property lines and decided to start what I can only describe as a suburban warfare campaign. Fake HOA complaints, deliberately blocking their driveway, even going through their trash to find evidence they were running a business from home. The list gets longer. 8 years of little observations that didn't seem important at the time, but when you put them together, well, let's just say the #blessed #family first image starts to look pretty fragile. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Dad, "Can we talk?" My heart jumps. Maybe he came through. Maybe he actually stood up to Janet and she's ready to post those photos with me included. Maybe I can put this pen down and forget about the list entirely. I call him back immediately. "Hey," he says, and I can already tell from his tone that this isn't the conversation I was hoping for. "Did you talk to her?" "I did. Look, kiddo, she's really upset that you're making such a big deal about this. She says she posted what she posted because those were the photos that came out the best, and you're trying to make it into something it's not. What I'm trying to make it into. She also mentioned that maybe you've been feeling left out lately because you're getting older, starting your own life, and sometimes people create problems when they're going through transitions." I hang up. I pick up my pen and keep writing. Item 5, the real reason Janet never wanted Dad to help me with college tuition. My phone starts buzzing again. Dad calling back. I turn it off and keep writing. Some lines, once you cross them, you can never uncross. But apparently, I crossed mine 3 days ago when I got erased from my own family. Time to return the favor. The next morning, I wake up to 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. Apparently, turning your phone off when your father is mid-damage control sends a pretty clear message about where things stand. I scroll through the texts while my roommate Morgan gets ready for her 9 a.m. lecture. They start apologetic, please call me back, we can work this out. Then concerned, you're scaring me, kiddo. Then annoyed, this silent treatment isn't solving anything. The last few, sent around midnight, just say, call me. But mixed in between Dad's increasingly frantic messages are 3 from Janet herself. I almost delete them without reading, but curiosity wins. Asterisk, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Asterisk. Asterisk, your father is very upset. We should talk like adults. Asterisk. Asterisk, Emma is asking why you're being so dramatic about some photos. Asterisk. That last one makes my blood boil. Emma is asking. No. Emma probably hasn't given me a single thought since graduation day. This is Janet trying to manipulate me using my relationship with my sister, my stepsister, whatever the hell Emma is to me now. I screenshot all 3 messages. Evidence for my growing file. Morgan pauses in her mascara application and looks at me in the mirror. You're doing that thing again where you look like you're planning someone's murder. Not murder, I say, adding the screenshots to a folder on my laptop labeled Family Research. Something much more civilized. She turns around, mascara wand still in hand. Babe, I love you, but maybe you should just talk to them. I know the photo thing sucks, but this whole revenge plot you've got brewing is giving me secondhand anxiety. They had 8 years to treat me like family, Morgan. They chose not to. Okay, but what's your endgame here? You expose their secrets, then what? You still won't be in those photos. You'll just be the crazy stepdaughter who went nuclear over Facebook. I close my laptop harder than necessary. Then at least I'll be something. Right now, I'm nothing. Morgan finishes her mascara and grabs her backpack. You're not nothing. You're just hurt. She pauses at the door. But hurt people who are really good at research and photography. Y'all are dangerous. Just, try not to destroy your life while you're destroying theirs, okay? After she leaves, I sit in our tiny dorm room and really think about what I'm planning to do. Morgan's right about one thing, this is dangerous. Not just for Janet and her perfect image, but for me. Once I pull this trigger, there's no going back. Dad will have to choose between his wife and his daughter, and we both know who he's been choosing for the past 8 years. My phone buzzes with a new text. This time it's Emma, asterisk, hey can you call me? Mom says you're mad about something and Dad looks like someone died, asterisk. Emma. The one person in this mess who might actually be innocent. She was just a kid when Dad and Janet got married, same as me. She probably doesn't even realize how differently we've been treated because it's all she's ever known. I stare at her message for a long time. If I go through with this plan, Emma gets hurt too. Her perfect graduation moment gets tainted. Her college fund, the one that came from money Janet borrowed from Dad's business, becomes a source of shame. Her stellar academic record becomes a joke. But then I remember sitting in that auditorium for 3 hours, cheering for her like she was my blood. I remember driving 4 hours to be there. I remember standing right next to her in photo after photo, believing I was part of something. I remember being erased. I turn my phone face down and open my laptop again. The research folder stares back at me, full of 8 years worth of secrets and lies and carefully hidden truths. Emma will understand eventually. Or she won't. But I'm done being invisible. I spend the next 3 hours researching Janet's social media presence with the dedication of a graduate student writing their thesis. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, even her old Twitter account from 2019 that she forgot to delete. Every post, every tagged photo, every carefully crafted caption about their #blessed and #family goals. What I find is even worse than I expected. It's not just the graduation photos. Going back through 8 years of Janet's social media is like watching myself get systematically erased in real time. Christmas morning photos where I'm cropped out but you can see half my arm reaching for a present. Family vacation pictures from last summer where somehow every single shot manages to exclude me, even though I know damn well I was there because I have the sunburn to prove it. Birthday posts for Emma that mention, so grateful for our beautiful family, while I'm literally sitting at the same dinner table, just outside the frame. The most damning one is from Emma's 16th birthday 2 years ago. Janet posted a whole album called My Sweet Girl's Sweet 16, and there's a photo of the 3 of them, Janet, Dad, and Emma, standing in front of the cake I helped bake. I spent 4 hours making fondant flowers for that cake. But in the caption, Janet writes, nothing makes me happier than celebrating with my whole family. Her whole family. While the person who made the cake doesn't exist. I screenshot everything, organizing it into folders by year. The evidence is overwhelming, and honestly, it's making me feel sick. This wasn't accidental. This was deliberate, systematic exclusion spanning nearly a decade. Janet has been carefully curating a version of their family that never included me, and Dad. Dad has been letting it happen. My phone rings. Dad again. I let it go to voicemail, then play the message back. Kiddo, please. Janet told me she texted you, and Emma's worried sick. Look, I know we need to have a conversation about how you've been feeling. Maybe I haven't been as aware as I should have been. But shutting us out isn't going to fix anything. Can you please just come home this weekend so we can sit down and talk like a family? Like a family. The hypocrisy would be funny if it weren't so devastating. I'm about to delete the voicemail when my phone starts ringing again. This time it's Emma. Against my better judgment, I answer. Oh thank God, she says immediately. I've been calling you for like an hour. What is going on? Mom's been stress cleaning the house since yesterday and Dad keeps staring at his phone like it's going to explode. Did Janet tell you what this is about? She said you guys had some kind of fight about the graduation photos. That you wanted them taken down or something. Emma's voice is genuinely confused. I don't really get it. I mean, there were like a million photos that day. If you want different ones posted, can't she just swap them out? And there it is. Emma has no idea. She doesn't know that I wasn't in any of the family photos. She doesn't know that I've been systematically erased from their social media for years. To her, this really does seem like a ridiculous overreaction to something trivial. Emma, I say carefully, how many photos from that day actually have me in them? The ones your mom posted? There's a pause. I don't know. I haven't really looked through them all. Why? Go look. Count them. Then call me back. That's kind of a weird thing to ask me to do. Just do it, Emma. Please. After I hang up, I sit back in my desk chair and wait. This is the moment of truth. Either Emma is going to realize what's been happening and understand why I'm so hurt, or she's going to dismiss it and I'll know exactly where I stand with everyone in that house. My laptop screen shows Janet's Instagram page, frozen on a post from last Christmas. The caption reads, "Grateful for my perfect family." I'm not in a single photo. 23 minutes later, Emma calls back. She's crying. "I'm so sorry," Emma says through tears. I didn't realize. Oh my God, you're not in any of them. Not a single one. I close my eyes and lean back in my chair. Part of me had hoped I was wrong, that I was being oversensitive, that Emma would call back laughing about how silly I was being. But hearing the devastation in her voice confirms what I already knew. It's not your fault, Em. But it is. I should have noticed. I should have said something. All those photos, and you were right there with us, and somehow. She takes a shaky breath. Mom kept directing everyone where to stand, remember? She kept saying she wanted just the right composition, and I thought she was being artistic or whatever, but she was deliberately leaving me out. Yeah. Emma is quiet for a long moment. When she speaks again, her voice is smaller. This isn't the first time, is it? I don't answer, but I don't need to. Jesus Christ, she whispers. How long has this been going on? How long have I been completely oblivious to my own mother systematically erasing my sister? The word sister hits me harder than expected. Even now, especially now, it means everything to hear her say it. Emma, listen to me. You were a kid when most of this started. You're not responsible for Janet's choices or Dad's willingness to go along with them. But I'm not a kid now. I'm 18, I'm going to college, I should have noticed that my own family was treating you like you don't exist. I can hear her crying harder now, and it's breaking my heart. This is exactly why going nuclear is complicated. Emma doesn't deserve to be collateral damage in this war between me and her mother. What can I do, she asks. How can I fix this? You can't fix 8 years of this, Emma. But I can try. I can talk to Mom, I can make her post different photos, I can. No. My voice comes out sharper than I intended. Don't you dare talk to Janet about this. Why not? She needs to know how fucked up this is. Because, I say, opening my laptop and staring at my research folder, I'm going to handle it myself. There's a pause. What does that mean? I almost tell her. For a split second, I consider explaining exactly what I've discovered, what I'm planning, what's about to happen to her mother's carefully constructed image. But Emma's already crying over something as simple as the photo situation. She's not ready for the rest of it. It means you need to stay out of this, Em. Whatever happens next, I need you to know it's not about you. You didn't do anything wrong. That sounds really ominous. I'm just going to have a conversation with your mother. Set some boundaries. It's not technically a lie. I am going to communicate with Janet. Just not in the way Emma's imagining. Can you please not do anything crazy? I just found out my family has been horrible to you for years. I can't lose you too. Too. The word hangs in the air between us. What do you mean, too? Emma is quiet for so long I think the call dropped. Finally, she says, Mom's been different lately. More controlling. More obsessed with appearances. And Dad just goes along with whatever she wants. Sometimes it feels like I'm living with strangers. This is news to me. I've been so focused on my own exclusion that I hadn't considered what life might be like for Emma inside that house. How long has that been going on? Since I started getting college acceptance letters. Maybe before. It's like she's terrified someone's going to see behind the curtain and realize we're not actually perfect. I stare at my laptop screen, at the folders full of evidence that could destroy that perfect image completely. Emma, if something happens. What kind of something? Just, promise me you'll remember that I love you, okay? What the hell do you mean by that? Emma's voice gets sharp, panicked. You're scaring me. I'm not going to hurt myself, if that's what you're thinking. I just meant, things are going to change. And I want you to know that whatever happens between me and your parents, it doesn't change how I feel about you. Okay, now you're really freaking me out. Can you please just come home so we can figure this out together? As a family. There's that word again. Family. But for the first time, when Emma says it, it doesn't feel like a lie. I can't come home right now, Em. I need some space to think. After we hang up, I sit in the darkness of my dorm room, staring at the glow of my laptop screen. My revenge plan suddenly feels heavier, more complicated. Emma's tears keep echoing in my head, and the way she said, sister, like it was the most natural thing in the world. My phone buzzes with a text from Janet. Your father and I have discussed this situation. We're willing to compromise. If you come home this weekend, we can select some different photos to post that include you. There's no need to blow this out of proportion. I read it 3 times, each time getting angrier. She's treating this like I'm having a tantrum about not getting enough likes on Instagram. Like 8 years of systematic erasure can be fixed by posting a token photo of me standing awkwardly on the edge of their perfect family portrait. I text back, thanks for the offer, but I'm not interested in compromise. Her response comes immediately, don't be childish. Family sometimes requires sacrifice and understanding from everyone. Family requires sacrifice from everyone. I screenshot that text and add it to my evidence folder. She can't even help herself. Even in her attempt at reconciliation, she's telling me that being excluded is a sacrifice I should make for the family. I'm about to close my laptop when I see a new Instagram notification. Janet has posted something new. My stomach drops as I click on it. It's a throwback post from Emma's high school graduation, but this time, she's posted one that includes me. I'm standing at the very edge of the frame, half my body cut off, looking like an afterthought that accidentally wandered into the shot. The caption reads, "Celebrating family, past and present. Sometimes the most important people are the ones quietly supporting from the sidelines. Hashtag gratitude, hashtag blended family, hashtag love." The comments are already pouring in. Such a sweet family. You're so lucky to have such a close bond with your kids. Goals. This is what modern family looks like. I'm shaking as I read it. She thinks this fixes everything. She's positioned my exclusion as me, quietly supporting from the sidelines, like I chose to be there, like I prefer to be invisible. And that hashtag blended family, the first time she's ever acknowledged that this family was blended at all. The worst part is the comments from people who know me. My high school friends, college acquaintances, people who are probably seeing this and thinking, oh, how sweet that Janet finally included her stepdaughter. They have no idea this is damage control. My phone starts ringing. Dad again. This time I answer. "Did you see Janet's post?" he asks without preamble. I saw it. She's trying, kiddo. This is her way of making things right. By posting one terrible photo where I'm literally cut in half and claiming I chose to be quietly supportive. He sighs. "Look, I know it's not perfect, but..." "Dad, stop." My voice comes out calmer than I feel. "Just stop. I'm done pretending this is normal." "What does that mean?" I look at my laptop, at the folders of evidence, at the plan I've been crafting for hours. Emma's tears, Janet's manipulative text, this pathetic excuse for an apology post, it all crystallizes into perfect clarity. It means I'm done being quiet. After I hang up on Dad, I sit in the dark staring at Janet's post. The likes are climbing steadily, 47, 52, 68. Each heart feels like another person buying into her narrative that I'm just a grateful stepdaughter who prefers to stay in the background. Then I see a comment that makes my blood run cold. "Janet, you're such an inspiration. My husband's ex-wife is making our custody situation so difficult. How do you maintain such grace and keep your family so united despite the challenges?" Janet's response appears within minutes. It takes patience and setting healthy boundaries. Some people will always try to create drama, but protecting your children's peace is worth it. 2 hearts. I screenshot it immediately. She's not just erasing me, she's painting my mom, her dead predecessor, as the source of family drama. My mom, who died when I was 14 and never got the chance to create drama about anything. My hands are shaking as I scroll through more comments. Janet is responding to several, each one painting herself as the long-suffering stepmother who graciously deals with complicated family dynamics and inherited challenges. Someone asks directly, "Is that your stepdaughter in the photo?" She looks so sweet. Janet, yes, we're still navigating that relationship. It's been a journey, but love and patience go a long way. Folded hands. Still navigating. After 8 years. Like I'm a problem to be solved rather than a person to be loved. My phone buzzes with a text from my roommate Zoe, "Saw your stepmom's post. Everything okay?" Then another from my friend Marcus, "Dude, your stepmom is getting roasted in her comments. Someone's calling her out for the weird passive-aggressive vibes." I refresh Janet's post. Sure enough, there's a new thread developing. Someone with the username at truthteller_Sarah has written, "This whole post feels off. Why is your stepdaughter quietly supporting from the sidelines? She's your family too, right?" Janet hasn't responded to that one yet. More comments pile on. "Yeah, that caption is weird. She's not hired help, she's your daughter. The girl looks uncomfortable in that photo. Maybe include her properly next time." Anyone else getting evil stepmother vibes, or is it just me? I watch in real time as Janet's perfect damage control post backfires spectacularly. She's probably panicking right now, realizing that her attempt to look gracious just highlighted how excluded I actually am. My phone rings. "Emma. Are you seeing this?" she asks without saying hello. The comments? Yeah. Mom is freaking out. She's pacing around the kitchen muttering about people not understanding context and social media toxicity. Dad's trying to calm her down, but she's talking about deleting the whole post. Good, I say. She keeps asking if you have other social media accounts, if you have friends who might be stirring things up in her comments. I think she suspects you're behind the negative comments somehow. I'm not, but it's interesting that her first instinct is to blame me for people having natural reactions to her behavior. "Emma, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest." "Okay. Has Janet ever said anything about my mom? Anything negative?" Emma is quiet for a long moment. "Why are you asking? Just answer the question." Sometimes she makes comments about how much easier things would be if Dad didn't have baggage from his first marriage. And once, when you were being difficult about something, I can't remember what, she said that attitude problems run in families. My vision goes red. Attitude problems run in families. She's been poisoning the well against my dead mother for years. Emma, I need you to listen carefully. Whatever happens in the next few days, remember that I tried to handle this quietly first. What are you planning? I look at my laptop screen, at Janet's post that's currently imploding, at my folders full of evidence, at the nuclear option I've been too afraid to deploy. I'm going to tell the truth. After I hang up with Emma, I spend the next hour watching Janet's post continue to implode. She's deleted 3 of her own defensive responses, but the screenshots are already circulating. Someone created a whole Twitter thread analyzing the toxic stepmom energy in her caption, complete with a breakdown of phrases like quietly supporting from the sidelines and what they reveal about family dynamics. By midnight, Janet has restricted comments on the post, but it's too late. The damage is spreading beyond her little circle of suburban mom friends. Someone shared it to a Facebook group called Blended Family Support where actual stepparents are tearing apart her approach. I'm screenshot NG everything when my phone buzzes with a call from an unknown number. I almost decline, then realize it might be dad calling from someone else's phone. Hello. Is this the girl from Janet Whitmore's family post? My stomach drops. Who is this? My name is Rachel Chen. I'm a freelance journalist, and I've been following the discussion around your stepmother's Instagram post. The story seems to have struck a nerve with a lot of people dealing with blended family issues. I'm not interested in talking to a reporter. I understand your hesitation, but I think there's a larger story here about how stepchildren are often marginalized in family narratives. Your situation seems to represent something a lot of people are experiencing. I hang up immediately, but my hands are shaking. This is escalating beyond anything I planned. Within minutes, I have 3 more calls from unknown numbers. I turn my phone off completely. When I power it back on an hour later, I have 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. Most are from Dad and Janet, increasingly frantic. But there are others, numbers I don't recognize, Emma calling repeatedly, and weirdly, a text from my Aunt Karen, Dad's sister, who I haven't spoken to in 2 years. Karen's message stops me cold, saw the shitstorm online. About time someone called Janet out. Your mom would be proud. Call me. I dial her number with trembling fingers. Honey, Karen answers immediately. Are you okay? Aunt Karen, I didn't mean for this to blow up like this. I just... Stop right there. You didn't do anything wrong. I've been watching Janet systematically erase you from this family for years, and frankly, I'm ashamed I didn't speak up sooner. What do you mean? Do you remember your mom's memorial service? Janet convinced your father to use photos that only showed you as a little kid, nothing recent. Said it would be less confusing for people. I should have said something then. My chest tightens. I barely remember the memorial, I was deep in grief fog, but I do remember feeling like the photos didn't represent who Mom and I had become together. She's been doing this for years, hasn't she? Honey, Janet sees you as a threat to her perfect family narrative. You're a reminder that your father had a whole life before her, that Emma and Tyler aren't his only children. She can't erase your mom completely because that would look bad, so she erases you instead. Before I can respond, my laptop dings with a new email notification. The sender name makes my blood freeze, Janet Whitmore. The subject line reads, "We need to talk, urgent family matter." I open it with Karen still on the phone. Sweetheart, I know you're upset about recent events, but this situation has gotten completely out of hand. People are calling our house, your father's work is getting calls, and Emma came home from school crying because her friends are sending her screenshots of cruel memes about our family. I'm prepared to discuss a more formal arrangement regarding your place in family events, but this online harassment needs to stop immediately. I don't know how you're coordinating this attack on our family, but it ends now, or I'll be forced to take legal action for cyberbullying and harassment. Your father and I expect you home this weekend to resolve this situation privately, as families should. Don't make this worse than it already is. Karen, I whisper into the phone. She's threatening to sue me. Forward me that email right now. My ex-husband is a lawyer, and that's not how cyberbullying works. She's panicking because her mask slipped in public. As I forward the email, 3 more calls come through. The nuclear option I've been preparing suddenly feels inevitable. Janet just declared war. And I have enough ammunition to end this permanently. I stay up until 3 a.m., staring at the folder on my desktop labeled nuclear option. My finger hovers over the mouse, trembling slightly. Karen's words echo in my head, she's been doing this for years. The email from Janet sits open in another tab, her threats dark and legal sounding. My phone buzzes constantly with notifications I'm too afraid to check. Each buzz feels like another crack in a dam I've been building for 8 years, trying to hold back the flood of resentment and hurt. At 3:17 a.m., I make the decision. I open the folder and start uploading files to a new Instagram account I create at blended_family_truth. The username feels melodramatic, but I'm past caring about subtlety. The first photo is a screenshot of Janet's text thread with her sister from last Christmas, where she complained about having to buy me presents for show and how she couldn't wait until I graduated and moved on with my life. The timestamp shows it was sent while I was downstairs making cookies with Emma and Tyler. The second is a recording from Tyler's birthday party last year. I'd been filming him blow out his candles when Janet, thinking I wasn't recording yet, told the photographer to get some shots without the stepdaughter. We want options for the Christmas cards. The third is the most damaging, a screenshot of Janet's Facebook messages with her book club friends, where she refers to me as David's baggage and jokes about how she's finally getting the family photos she's always wanted, now that I'm usually away at college. I write a simple caption, 8 years of receipts. This is what family looks like behind closed doors. Hashtag stepchild invisible, hashtag blended nightmare, hashtag truth-telling. Before I can second guess myself, I hit post and tag Janet's account. I set the phone aside and try to sleep, but my heart is hammering so hard I can feel it in my throat. I've just crossed a line I can never uncross. There's no taking this back. By the time I wake up at 7 a.m., my world has exploded. The post has 847 likes and 312 comments. My DMs are flooded with messages from other stepchildren sharing their own horror stories, local news accounts asking for interviews, and family members I haven't heard from in years. But it's the missed calls that make my stomach drop. 43 from Dad. 17 from Janet. 8 from Emma, and, weirdly, 6 from my stepbrother Tyler, who never calls anyone. The first voicemail from Dad is just heavy breathing and muffled arguing in the background. The second is more coherent. What have you done? Janet's talking about lawyers and restraining orders. Call me back immediately. The third, from 2 hours ago, is different. His voice is quiet, defeated. Your stepmother is, she's not handling this well. She's called in sick to work and she's locked herself in our bedroom. Emma's scared. Tyler keeps asking why everyone at school is talking about our family. I need you to take this down. Please. We're supposed to be family. Supposed to be family. Even now, even with evidence of 8 years of systematic exclusion laid bare for the world to see, he still can't acknowledge what Janet has done to me. I'm scrolling through the comments, a mix of support and chaos, when my roommate Zoe bursts through the door. Holy shit, are you okay? There are people in the parking lot with cameras. My blood turns to ice. Through our third-floor window, I can see a small crowd gathering near the building entrance. Someone has a news van. How did they find me here? Your Instagram post is going viral. Someone connected it to the university through your bio. Zoe's face is pale. Campus security called the RA. They want to talk to you about the media situation. My phone starts ringing again. Dad's name flashes on the screen, but when I answer, it's Janet's voice, raw and shaking with rage. You want to destroy this family? Congratulations. You just did. Janet, where's my dad? I keep my voice steady despite my heart hammering against my ribs. Your father can't even look at me right now. Do you know what you've done? My boss saw the posts. My boss. I've been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation into my personal conduct affecting workplace reputation. Her voice cracks. I work with children, you vindictive little. Maybe you should have thought about that before calling me baggage for 8 years. The line goes quiet except for her ragged breathing. When she speaks again, her voice is different. Colder. You think you're so smart with your little screenshots and recordings. But you have no idea what you've just started. My brother-in-law handles defamation cases. Those messages were private conversations taken without consent. That recording was made in our home without permission. You've just handed me everything I need to destroy you legally. Good luck proving defamation when everything I posted is true. Truth doesn't matter when it's obtained illegally, sweetheart. And here's what else you don't know, your father and I have been discussing your college fund for months. Guess what happens to that money now? The words hit like a physical blow. My college fund, the money Dad's been contributing to since I was 14, built partially from Mom's life insurance payout that he was supposed to preserve for my education. You can't touch that money. It's from my mom. Actually, we can. Your father has been the trustee since your mother died. And trustees have discretionary powers when beneficiaries engage in behavior that goes against family interests. I can hear the smile in her voice. I did my research after your little stunt last night. One call to the bank, and that fund gets frozen pending a trustee review of your conduct. My knees give out, and I sink onto my desk chair. Janet, please. Oh, now you want to negotiate? Too late. Tyler came home an hour ago with a black eye because some kids at school showed him the post and called his family fake. Emma won't stop crying because her boyfriend's mother saw the screenshots and told him he can't date someone from that kind of family. You wanted to hurt me. Congratulations. You hurt your siblings instead. Before I can respond, I hear shouting in the background, Dad's voice, furious. Give me the damn phone, Janet. David, don't. Give me the phone. The line rustles, then Dad's voice comes through, rough and exhausted. Is any of this true? The screenshots, the recording, did she really say those things? For a moment, hope flickers in my chest. Maybe he'll finally see what's been happening. Dad, yes, it's all true. I have 3 years worth of. I don't care if it's true. His voice explodes through the phone. You don't air family business online. You don't humiliate your stepmother publicly. You don't drag your siblings into your petty revenge fantasies. The hope dies instantly. Even with proof, even with receipts, even with her own words condemning her, he's still choosing them. My petty revenge. Dad, she's been erasing me from this family since. She loves you. She's tried for 8 years to include you, and this is how you repay her. By destroying her career. By embarrassing Emma and Tyler at school. She called me baggage. She said she couldn't wait for me to move on with my life. People say things when they're frustrated. Marriage is complicated, blending families is hard, but you don't get to judge adult conversations you weren't supposed to hear. Through my window, I watch more news vans pull into the parking lot. Dad, I whisper, they're coming for me. The media found me. The line goes quiet. Then, fix this. Take it all down. Apologize publicly. Or don't come home. He hangs up. I stare at my phone in a sudden silence, Dad's ultimatum echoing in my ears. Don't come home, the words feel surreal, like they belong in someone else's life. Through my window, I count 4 news vans now, and what looks like a campus security vehicle pulling up. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma, asterisk why did you do this to us? Tyler's lip is split and I can't stop crying. Some girl at school called me fake family trash because of your post. I hate you, asterisk. The message hits harder than Janet's threats or Dad's ultimatum. Emma, sweet Emma who used to braid my hair and beg me to paint her nails when I came home from college. I screenshot her text and scroll back through my Instagram post, watching the comments multiply in real time. Asterisk, this is what narcissistic stepparents do. Asterisk. Asterisk, sue her for emotional abuse. Asterisk. Asterisk, name and shame the whole family. Asterisk. But mixed in are other comments that make my stomach churn. Asterisk, those poor younger kids don't deserve this public humiliation. Asterisk. Asterisk, this is why stepfamilies don't work, stepkids are always bitter. Asterisk. Asterisk, imagine being so petty you destroy children's lives for social media clout. Asterisk. A sharp knock on my door makes me jump. Campus security, a muffled voice calls. We need to speak with you about the media presence on university property. Zoe opens the door to reveal 2 officers in uniform and someone in a suit I don't recognize. The suit extends her hand. I'm Dean Morrison from Student Affairs. We need to discuss the situation developing outside. I gesture weakly for them to come in, my legs still shaky from the call. Dean Morrison's expression is professionally neutral, but I can see the calculation behind her eyes. The university has a vested interest in maintaining campus safety and our institutional reputation. This media attention is creating security concerns for other students. Are you telling me to leave? I'm telling you that we need to discuss your options. The media won't be allowed on campus indefinitely, but they're not going away while this story is trending. She pulls out her phone and shows me Twitter. My hashtag #stepchildinvisible is trending in our state, with over 15,000 posts. This has gotten much bigger than family drama. One of the security officers clears his throat. There's also the matter of the threats. What threats? Dean Morrison's professional mask slips slightly. Your Instagram post has attracted some extreme responses. We've identified at least 12 accounts making threatening comments toward the family members you've identified. One individual has posted what appears to be your stepmother's workplace address with suggestions about paying her a visit. The room spins. I never posted her workplace. I never even said her last name. The internet is very good at filling in blanks, Dean Morrison says grimly. Your father's business information was public record. From there, finding your stepmother's employer took about 20 minutes. Someone's posted her full name, workplace, and what they claim is her home address in the comments. My hand starts shaking as I scroll through the comments again, and there they are, buried in the hundreds of responses I hadn't read yet. People have doxed my entire family. Janet's school district. Dad's contracting business address. Even Emma's high school. Asterisk, someone should visit Janet Whitmore at Riverside Elementary and tell her what we think of child abusers. Asterisk. Asterisk, David Chen's contracting, 555 Chen. Wonder how his business partners feel about his wife's behavior. Asterisk. Asterisk, these people live at 847 Maple Street. Just saying. Asterisk. My phone starts ringing again. This time it's a number I don't recognize with our hometown area code. Don't answer that, Zoe warns, but I'm already sliding to accept the call. Is this the stepdaughter from the Instagram post? The voice is unfamiliar, female, excited. This is Channel 7 News. We'd like to offer you an exclusive interview opportunity to tell your side of the story. We can offer compensation, Anne. I hang up immediately, but it starts ringing again. Different number, same area code. Dean Morrison watches me with growing concern. How many people have this number? Just family and close friends. It's not posted anywhere online. But even as I say it, I realize how naive that sounds. If internet strangers found Janet's workplace in 20 minutes, my phone number probably took 5. The security officer's radio crackles to life. We've got protesters gathering outside the building now. Requesting additional units for crowd control. Protesters, I rush to the window and look down at a scene that spiraled completely beyond my control. The scene below my window looks like something from a news documentary about social media gone wrong. What started as a few news vans has exploded into chaos. There are at least 30 people gathered on the quad, some holding handmade signs I can barely read from the 3rd floor. One says, "Justice for stepchildren," in bright red letters. Another reads, "Janet Whitmore equals child abuser." My stomach drops to the floor. These people don't know me, don't know my family, but they're treating this like some kind of righteous crusade. This has to stop, I whisper, backing away from the window. Dean Morrison nods grimly. We've contacted local police for additional support, but you need to understand, this situation is now beyond the university's ability to contain. We're going to have to consider temporary relocation for your safety and that of other students. Relocation? Zoe speaks up from her corner of the room. Where is she supposed to go? She can't go home, and now you're kicking her out of her dorm. We're not kicking anyone out, Dean Morrison clarifies. But we have to consider the welfare of our entire student body. The protesters are peaceful so far, but crowds can turn unpredictable quickly. My phone buzzes with another unknown number. I decline the call, but immediately another one comes through. Then another. The calls are coming so fast now that my phone doesn't stop ringing. Turn it off, the security officer suggests. Or put it in airplane mode. But before I can, a FaceTime call comes through from Tyler's number. My heart lurches, maybe he wants to talk, maybe I can explain, but when I answer, it's not Tyler's face on the screen. It's a stranger. A middle-aged man with a goatee, grinning at me like he's won the lottery. Well. If it isn't the famous stepdaughter herself. I try to hang up, but he keeps talking. Your little brother's got quite the mouth on him for a kid with a black eye. Really fighting hard to defend his big sister, even after you ruined his life. Who are you? How did you get his phone? Let's just say Tyler and I had a conversation outside his school. He's real upset about those mean kids picking on him. Kept saying his sister isn't a bad person, that there must be some misunderstanding. The man's grin widens. Sweet kid. Too bad he's caught in the crossfire of your little revenge plot. Horror floods through me. Did you hurt him? If you touched him, I swear. Relax, princess. I just wanted to chat. But you should know, your family's getting lots of visitors today. Seems like everyone wants to meet the evil stepmother and the coward father who let his daughter get abused. The call cuts out, and I immediately try calling Tyler's real number, Dad's number, even Janet's number. All of them go straight to voicemail. Either their phones are dead, or they've shut them off to escape the harassment. Dean Morrison has been watching this exchange with growing alarm. We need to contact local police in your hometown immediately. This has escalated to stalking and potential endangerment of minors. You don't understand, I say, my voice barely steady. My family already blames me for everything. If protesters show up at Tyler's school, if people are following him, Dad will never forgive me. Never. Your family's safety is more important than their forgiveness right now, Dean Morrison says firmly. But she's wrong. Without my family, I have nothing. No home to return to, no support system, no connection to Mom's memory. I've already lost Dad and Janet. If something happens to Tyler or Emma because of what I started, I'll lose them forever too. And the worst part is, I'm starting to realize I might deserve to. The campus police radio crackles again. We have a situation at the main gate. Family members demanding entry, claiming harassment. Requesting immediate backup. My blood turns to ice. Family members. Dean Morrison presses her radio. Can you describe the individuals? Two adults, one male, one female. Male is approximately 50, claiming to be David Chin. Female appears distressed, holding photos. They're demanding to speak with a student in Hartwell Hall. Dad is here. Janet is here. On campus, in the middle of this circus I created. I'm already moving toward the door when Dean Morrison grabs my arm. Absolutely not. You are not going down there. You don't understand, if they drove 3 hours to get here, something terrible has happened. Tyler could be. Which is exactly why you need to stay put until we assess the situation. Through the window, I can see the crowd on the quad growing larger. Someone set up a speaker, and a voice carries up to our floor, we demand justice for invisible children. No more family abuse. They're chanting now. Actually chanting about my life like it's some political cause. My laptop pings with a new notification. Against my better judgment, I check it, another Instagram comment, but this one makes my knees buckle. Asterisk, update from Riverside Elementary, Janet Whitmore called in sick today after dozens of parents demanded meetings about her child abuse. Principal confirms they're reviewing the situation. Keep the pressure up. Asterisk. Janet might lose her job. Over a photo. Over my hurt feelings about a stupid photo. Dean Morrison reads over my shoulder and swears under her breath. We need to coordinate with administration about crisis management. This is affecting multiple institutions now. The security officer's radio crackles, the family at the gate is getting agitated. The male subject is demanding to know why protesters are chanting his daughter's name. Should we allow them on campus? Negative. Campus is under security restriction until the crowd disperses. I grab Dean Morrison's radio before she can stop me. Let them up. Please. They're my family, and they drove here because they're scared. At least let them reach the building safely. Absolutely not. We have protocols. Your protocols are keeping a terrified father from checking on his daughter. My voice cracks. I know I screwed up, but don't punish them for trying to make sure I'm alive. Zoe suddenly jumps up from her desk chair. Oh God, look at this. She's pointing at her laptop screen, showing a live stream someone has set up outside the building. I can see Dad and Janet at the campus gate, and Dad looks broken. His clothes are wrinkled like he slept in them, and he's gesturing desperately at the security guard while Janet stands behind him clutching what looks like printed emails. The live stream comments are brutal. Asterisk, that's the dad who abandoned his kid. Coward. Asterisk. Asterisk, look how fake upset they are. Too little too late. Asterisk. Asterisk, someone should ask him why he chose his new wife over his own daughter. Asterisk. Turn it off, I whisper, but Zoe is transfixed. There are 12,000 people watching this, she says in horror. 12,000 strangers watching your dad beg to see you. Dean Morrison makes a decision. Security, escort the family to conference room B in the administration building. Do not let them near the crowd, and do not confirm the student's location. I need to see them. Not until we establish safety protocols. This situation is completely unprecedented. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number, asterisk, saw the news. Coming to get you. Pack light. Don't trust university. A friend of your mom's, asterisk. I stare at the message, my mind reeling. Mom's been dead for 8 years. Who would claim to be her friend now? The walls feel like they're closing in, and through the window, I watch more protesters arrive while my father stands trapped at the campus gate, unable to reach me. I've created a monster I can't control. Another text comes from the same unknown number, asterisk, your mom made me promise to watch out for you. She knew this family would hurt you eventually. Blue Honda Civic, North parking lot in 10 minutes. Asterisk. My hands shake as I show the message to Dean Morrison. This person claims they knew my mother, but that's impossible. Mom didn't have close friends, she was sick for so long before she died. It's likely someone exploiting the situation, Dean Morrison says grimly. People see vulnerable targets in viral stories and move in quickly. She radios campus security. We need eyes on all parking areas. Potential predator using deceased family member as lure. The live stream audio grows louder, someone's brought a megaphone to the quad. David Chen, your daughter deserves better. The crowd cheers, and through the window I watch Dad's shoulders slump at the gate. He's hearing his name being chanted by strangers who think they know our story. Zoe refreshes her laptop. The hashtag is trending in 3 countries now. Someone made a TikTok compilation of invisible children stories, and it has 2 million views. 2 million. The number doesn't feel real. People are sharing photos of themselves being excluded from family events. It's like, you accidentally started a movement. My stomach churns. I never wanted a movement. I wanted my family to acknowledge that I exist, not for millions of strangers to dissect our private pain. The security officer's radio crackles, reports of vehicles circling the campus perimeter. Multiple license plates from out of state. Looks like people are driving here specifically for this. Driving here from where? Dean Morrison demands. So far we've spotted plates from Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Social media is calling it a solidarity gathering. This is insane. People are traveling across state lines because of my Instagram post. I sink into a chair, overwhelmed by the scope of what I've unleashed. My phone rings, Tyler's number again. This time I don't answer, but a voicemail comes through immediately. Against my better judgment, I play it on speaker. It's Tyler's voice, but he sounds scared, Jess. Some reporter lady found my TikTok and she's asking me questions about you and Mom and Dad. She wants to interview me for a news story. I don't know what to say. Dad's phone is dead and Janet locked herself in her room crying. Can you please come home? Everything's really scary right now. The message ends, and I'm already reaching for my jacket when Dean Morrison blocks my path. You cannot leave this building. That's my little brother. He's only 14 and reporters are hunting him down. Which is exactly why we've contacted police in your hometown. Professionals will handle this. Professionals don't know Tyler. He'll say something trying to defend me and make everything worse. My voice rises. I have to fix this before a new commotion outside cuts me off. Through the window, I see news vans pulling into the campus parking areas. Real media, not just social media streamers. Professional cameras and satellite dishes. Zoe refreshes her screen again. CNN just picked up the story. They're calling it the stepfamily photo that broke the internet. Dean Morrison's face goes pale. Campus is now under media lockdown. No one enters or leaves without administrative approval. The security radio crackles, multiple journalists approaching the main gate. They're interviewing protesters and asking about the family that's been waiting outside. They're going to interview Dad. Put him on television while he's vulnerable and desperate. The man who taught me to ride a bike, who held me when Mom died, who's been trying to hold together a blended family for 8 years, he's about to be ambushed by reporters who think they understand our story from a single Instagram post. I need to get to him, I say desperately. Before he says something on camera that destroys what's left of our family. But even as I say it, I realize the horrible truth, there might not be anything left to destroy. Dean Morrison's radio suddenly crackles with a different voice, campus police chief. We have a situation. The father at the gate just collapsed. EMTs are en route. My heart stops. Through the window, I can see the crowd surging toward the campus entrance, phones raised to record whatever's happening. I can't see Dad clearly through the chaos, but I catch a glimpse of Janet kneeling beside someone on the ground. I'm going. I push past Dean Morrison before she can react. Jessica, absolutely not. That's my father. I'm already at the door. You can arrest me later, but I'm not letting him have a heart attack surrounded by strangers who think he's a monster. The security officer moves to block me, but Zoe suddenly stands up. She's right. This has gone too far. She looks at Dean Morrison with surprising authority. My dad's a lawyer. You can't legally hold her here against her will when she hasn't committed a crime. Dean Morrison hesitates, and in that moment, I bolt. The hallway is empty, everyone else is either in class or watching the chaos from their windows. I take the stairs 2 at a time, my heart hammering against my ribs. Each step down feels like stepping back into the mess I created, but I can't let Dad face this alone. I burst through the building's side exit and immediately hear the roar of the crowd. Someone spots me and screams, that's her. That's the invisible daughter. The mob turns toward me like a wave, phones and cameras swinging in my direction. I've never felt more exposed in my life, but I push through, shoving past protesters who try to touch me or get selfies. This isn't about them. This was never about them. Dad. I scream over the noise. The crowd parts enough for me to see him sitting on the ground beside the gate, Janet's arms around his shoulders. He's not having a heart attack, he's crying. Actually sobbing in front of hundreds of strangers and news cameras. When he sees me running toward him, his face crumples with relief. Jess. Oh God, Jess. I drop to my knees beside him, and he pulls me into the tightest hug of my life. Around us, the crowd quiets, sensing they're witnessing something private and real. For the first time in 24 hours, the world shrinks back down to just my family. I'm so sorry, Dad whispers into my hair. For everything. For the photos, for not seeing how we were making you feel invisible. I never wanted you to think you weren't my daughter. I know, I whisper back. I'm sorry too. I never meant for it to go this far. Janet reaches over and takes my hand, the first time she's voluntarily touched me in years. We're going to figure this out, she says quietly. All of us. Together. A reporter shoves a microphone toward us, but Dad stands up and addresses the crowd with surprising strength. My daughter is not your cause, he says clearly. She's a person who was hurting, and we failed to see it. But this is our family's private business, and I'm asking you all to please go home and let us heal. The crowd begins to disperse slowly, the energy deflating as people realize the show is over. News vans start packing up. The circus I accidentally created is finally ending. As we walk toward Dad's car together, all 3 of us, I delete the original Instagram post from my phone. The screenshots will exist forever, but I don't need to feed the monster anymore. Some wounds can only heal in private, away from the eyes of 12,000 strangers. And for the first time in 8 years, I finally feel like part of the family walking beside me.